This is the story of a postcard-perfect town, a family that seemed to have it all, and a crime scene that wasn't a single place, but an entire coastline. In December of 2001, the Pacific Ocean began giving up its darkest secrets to the people of Waldport, Oregon. And the first secret was a little boy named Zachary. When fishermen found 3-year-old Zachary Longo floating in the Alsea Bay, the immediate hope was a tragic accident. A toddler wandering too close to the water. But questions arose immediately. Where was his family? The well-dressed, photogenic Longo's father Christian, mother MaryJane, 4-year-old Sadie, 2-year-old Madison, and baby Zachary were new to town, and they seemed idyllic. The search for the missing family was massive. FBI agents joined local police, combing the beaches and forests of the rugged Oregon coast. Then, days later, the ocean gave up a second child. 4-year-old Sadie, and she wasn't just floating. She was bound and weighted down with rocks. In that moment, the search for a missing family became a hunt for a killer. The grim math was inescapable. If 2 children were murdered, where were the parents and the remaining baby? Were they victims, or was one of them the architect of this horror? The investigation zeroed in on the last place they were seen alive, a luxury waterfront rental home. Inside, detectives found a chillingly normal scene. There were half-eaten cereal bowls on the kitchen table. Children's toys were scattered across the floor. A Bible was left open on a knit stand. There were no signs of a struggle. It was as if the family had simply vaporized after breakfast. But outside, under the home's deck overlooking the bay, an officer's flashlight beam caught something unnatural. Suitcases. Heavy, expensive suitcases, submerged in the cold water, tied to the dock pilings. What they pulled from the water would haunt everyone on that scene for the rest of their lives. Inside were the bodies of MaryJane Longo and her infant daughter, Madison. The entire family was now accounted for. All were dead. And only one person was missing, the father, Christian Longo. Christian Longo instantly became one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives. But who was he, really? To his new neighbors in Waldport, he was a charming, friendly young father, a successful businessman looking for a quieter life for his family. But the digital paper trail that detectives uncovered revealed a man living a life of spectacular lies. He'd lost his job months earlier. The family was destitute, drowning in debt from a string of failed businesses and bad decisions. The luxury rental paid for with bad checks. The minivan they drove, stolen. Christian Longo wasn't a successful professional. He was a con artist, and the walls of his fantasy world were caving in. As a nationwide manhunt stretched from Oregon all the way to Mexico, the portrait of the killer became stranger and stranger. Longo wasn't hiding in the shadows, living off the grid. He was living a new fantasy. Using stolen identities, he was spotted at a luxury hotel in Cancun, dining at fine restaurants, and going scuba diving. He was performing the life he'd always wanted, even as the entire world searched for the monster who had murdered his family. His eventual capture in Mexico only deepened the mystery. When he was finally arrested, he was polite, even cooperative, and then he began to talk. He offered a story so shocking, so bizarre, that it forced investigators to confront an unthinkable possibility. What if he didn't act alone? Longo claimed that his wife, MaryJane, had killed the 2 older children in a fit of rage over their financial problems. He said that he came home to this unthinkable scene, and in a panicked, twisted effort to protect her memory, he helped dispose of the bodies and then killed MaryJane and the baby himself in a moment of mercy. It was a story designed to deflect the ultimate blame, to paint himself as a victim of circumstance rather than a cold-blooded murderer. But the forensic evidence told a different story. It told a story of premeditation, of methodical binding and waiting. It told the story of a man who, after the murders, went shopping for new clothes, rented movies, and then fled the country to start a brand new life. At his trial, the jury saw through the fiction. Christian Longo was convicted of multiple counts of aggravated murder. In a final, chilling act of performance, he took the stand during the penalty phase of his trial and admitted to killing his entire family outright, calling himself the worst kind of monster. He was sentenced to death. The tragedy of the Longo family is a stark collision between fantasy and reality. It is a story about the horrifying lengths one man would go to escape the life he de-built, and the innocent lives he destroyed to try and build a new one. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the most dangerous depths aren't in the ocean, but in the human heart. Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into complex cases.